Good morning, members, or is it afternoon or evening or night from wherever you are? Welcome to this meeting. And it's really great to see a lot of people who have joined us. This meeting is live on YouTube as well. We had high oversubscription of the meeting. So we are also broadcasting it live because our account could not allow beyond a certain number. So we are live on YouTube, so you can tell your colleagues and friends to also follow us through YouTube. My name is Dr. John Kinyuru. I'm the Director of Research at JQuat. And today we want to welcome you to this very important topic. The YouTube link is Discover JQuat. Discover JQuat is the YouTube channel. So we would like to welcome you to today's webinar. These are weekly webinars that happen every Thursday from 12 to 1. Our presentation today is going to be led by Dr. Alan Mugambi, who is a senior lecturer at Jomo Kenyatta University. And I'm going to be requesting him to upload his presentation so that we can start off.
Thank you.
Dr. Mugambi, Alan Mugambi, you can hear me?
Yes, thank you very much, Director. We are grateful to be here and to have this discussion. I'll request that we put our video cams off until maybe you're called in to make. Thank you very much, Director. We are grateful to be here and to have this discussion. I'll request that we put our video cams off until maybe you're called in. Thank you very much, Director. We are grateful to be here and to have this discussion. I'll request that we put our video cams off until maybe you're called in. Thank you very much, Director. We are grateful to be.
Dr. Mugambi.
Sorry, there's so much echo coming from your end.
I think you're logged in into more than one device.
No, I'm only in one device. Maybe I'll request that everyone logs
in. Dr. Kinyuru, kindly mute your YouTube.
You're logged in into more than one device.
Thank you, Dr. Kinyuru. I think the problem is that we were logged in several devices. Well, welcome, guys, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are. As you heard, my name is Dr. Mugambi, an entrepreneur from the College of Human Resource Development of Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. One of our major mandates is to carry on research in various fields, and one of the areas that we are very interested in is the area of innovations and the various new technologies that are out there in the world. So basically, the way we are looking at our topic today is from purely a research perspective, and as I said, that's one of our core mandates as a university, to carry out research that can help the country and the world at large make some informed decision. So this is going to be a very interactive forum whereby we are going to discuss the industrial uses of hemp. You may have your own reservations and many names that maybe you'd want to use for that particular product, but we restrict ourselves to the industrial uses of hemp. And by hemp, I mean hemp itself. So we are going to have kind of an open discussion whereby we look at why hemp or why not hemp, and all over the world how has hemp been used to industrialize or support the economy of the countries that it has been legalized. In Kenya, the current position of hemp is not a legal drug. It's a completely illegal, or not really a drug, but a product. So basically, we are just getting to unknown. We are trying to understand this area of hemp and how can it be used to help our industries. I'm joined by a team from the US and quite a number from the campus, our local professors, and we are grateful that you are here today. So to start us off, we don't have too much time. We've been given very little time, about 40 minutes to have our presentation. I would ask Alexis to kind of put on the presentation. And we are co-presenting this discussion with Alexis. Maybe I think I'm pronouncing your name pretty well. Some will call you Lexas or
yeah, Lex, that's fine. Greetings. How are you, everyone? Mambo.
So I would like you to put up the presentation, and I'm giving you about 5 minutes to offer a brief introduction.
Okay, sounds good.
For industrial purposes.
Okay, so can everyone see my screen?
Yes, it's okay. Just move on.
Yep.
Okay, so here my name is Alexis Hubbard, and I am the co-founder of Savor the World, and I am also the founder and president of the Hemp Creatives. And my mission with the Hemp Creatives is to educate people on the benefits of hemp. So here in Kenya is helping economy merge people. And have someone mute.
Okay. Alexis?
Yes. So here's
everyone.
Okay, hello. So here's one of my favorite quotes by one of our founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson. And hemp is of the first necessity to the wealth and protection of the country. So a little bit about hemp. Hemp is an amazing super crop. It's a viable crop that can produce and trade like cotton, soy, and tobacco. Hemp is one of the strongest and most durable of all the natural textile fibers that's out there. Okay, hello. Anyone? Was I muted?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, not sure where I kicked off. But yeah, so hemp is absolutely amazing. And a lot of people get hemp mixed up with marijuana, and hemp looks very similar, but hemp is not marijuana. It's not psychoactive. Hemp has less than 0.3% THC. And at this point, as of May 2021, hemp is legal in over 47 countries, and it was removed as a controlled substance in 2018 in the United States. And it's used for many different things, such as fiber, fuel, oil, and seed, which I will touch on throughout the presentation. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, a small town outside of Detroit, Michigan, and it's really exciting to be able to speak to Henry Ford. Made one of the first cars from hemp. So it ran entirely on hemp ethanol, and the outer body was constructed from hemp plastic, and it was 10 times stronger than steel. This was in 1937, and right after Henry Ford manufactured this car, the United States outlawed hemp and made it illegal, and not because hemp was bad, but it was due to the fact that, hemp being so amazing would have a huge impact on industries such as oil, plastic, and paper. And hemp can do amazing things just with 1 acre. It can produce 300 gallons of oil, 30 tons of fiber, 2 tons of protein, and that's only 1 acre within 1 single year. The cool thing about Kenya is that you can grow hemp 3 times out the year, opposed to Michigan and certain places in the US where we can only get 1 grow out of the year. And so some fun facts about industrial hemp: it's sustainable and incredibly beneficial to the environment. Anything made from plastic can be made with hemp bioplastic. It's weed, pest, heat, wind, and mold resistant. It's pretty organic, so you don't have to use pesticides, fungicides, or herbicides. It takes carbon dioxide out of the air and returns nutrients to the soil. So it makes for like the perfect rotation crop, and it grows in a huge abundance. And it uses 1/4 of the water needed for cotton and other similar crops. And all hemp products are pretty much biodegradable, and you have a much larger yield and return on harvest. And so there are 3 primary components of hemp, and you have the fiber from stalk, which you can get like hurd, which is the inner core part, and that's often used for paper, pet products, bedding, and construction materials. And then you have the bast, which is the outer fibers of the stalk, and that can be made into different types of rope, fabric, and canvas. Then you also have the hemp floral, which is used for extraction of plant resin for a lot of health and wellness and medical products. And then there is the grain or the seed, which is really great for human food, oil, protein, powder, or seeds for planting hemp. And hemp seeds are very, very healthy and nutritious, very high in protein, a lot of your omegas, like your omega-3 and 6, and it also contains all 20 amino acids. And hemp seeds produce oil that can also be used for biofuel and plastic. So here's what hemp fiber and biomass look like. And, 1 acre of hemp can produce more paper pulp than 4 acres of trees. And it's ready to be harvested in less than 100 days instead of 15 to 25 years that a tree takes. And then hemp biomass can be used for ethanol fuel as well. And then there's hemp construction and materials. So hempcrete can be made by all natural products, mixing limestone binder, water, and hemp hurds. Hempcrete can be used for structural construction, insulation, and finishes. Hempcrete is lightweight, incredibly strong, and durable building material, and it's flame, pest, and water resistant. And hempcrete also serves as a natural insulator, so it's perfect for the summer, hot summers. It's cooler, and then it also gives the ability to be warmer in the winter, and it's carbon negative and fireproof. So hempcrete is another amazing thing that you can, get from growing hemp. And some of the economic benefits of the hemp industry, in 2018, the U.S. generated about $591 million from the industrial hemp market, when it was removed from a controlled substance. And some research groups project that by next year, the market will hit 2020, or by 2022, the market will hit about 1.5 billion. And it's also forecasted that by 2026, the market for industrial hemp globally will be about 35.5 billion. And there's over 50,000 benefits of hemp, making the economic market huge. So there's more reasons than not to grow. And at this current time, there's less than 1 million acres of hemp growing worldwide. And that's expecting to rise. It's like huge within the next 5 to 20 years. 1 acre of hemp can generate 374,000 shillings from fiber and 80.1 million shillings, Kenyan shillings, from hemp oil, and that's just in 1 acre. Industrial hemp, one of the reasons why I made my way to Kenya is because I just absolutely love Kenya. And then I heard about Kenya's Agenda 4 vision. And with industrial hemp being grown here and processed here, it will certainly fast track Kenya's Agenda 4, which is food security, no poverty. Industrial hemp will create jobs. It will definitely, aid in zero hunger. Industrial hemp definitely produces food, affordable housing, industrial, like the industry, innovation, and infrastructure. With the industrial hemp capabilities, it touches on a lot of sustainability resolutions to affordable housing, definitely with hempcrete. And manufacturing, you have different things like hemp ethanol, biofuel. It also, again, it will bring in jobs that can pay double the country's average wage right now. And then there's affordable health care, good health and well-being. Industrial hemp is not only good for the human body, but it's also good for the planet. Hemp puts nutrition back into people and the earth. So definitely excited to be a part of this today and answer any questions regarding industrial hemp. And that is all I have.
Thank you very much for
I tried to.
setting us off and for the presentation. I now call upon Fabio to present the medical point of view, the uses of hemp from a medical point of view. Fabio, can you hear me? You have about 5 minutes before we get to Q&A. Fabio, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I don't have a presentation, but I can speak on a subject for a little bit if you guys would like, and I'd be more than glad to answer any questions.
All right.
So I started this journey from a medical doctorate standpoint. I became a doctor and started looking into the benefits of CBD. I was not really aware of what this plant could really do, since we were never taught anything in med school in regards to this. So I took my own journey and started to research and development a lot of this by extracting it from the plant. So now I currently have 2 facilities here in the United States that produce CBD. This is a plant that looks very similar to marijuana, but has no psychoactive properties. CBD has been shown here in the United States. Now, we can't make claims, but it's still within the FDA guidelines. They should be coming out within the next year in regards to what us manufacturers can produce. But we do anything from topicals to tinctures. There's gel caps, and it is shown to alleviate pain, stress, aid in sleep, remove psoriasis and eczema. It's helped individuals with fibromyalgia, cerebral palsy, people that have epileptic seizures. It's now showing promising effects in children with autism. As we know, they're very antsy once they get to the adolescent age. And the beauty about this is that it's non-psychoactive at all. We have seen the largest consumers of hemp, believe it or not, are individuals above the age of 55 and older. So this is your parents, your grandparents that are pursuing these types of alternative, if you would like to call it supplements, you can't really call it as a medicine, and have been shown to show significant benefits within these people that have been taking it. We have also been seeing great benefits in, believe it or not, pets. Your dogs seem to do fairly well with this, as well as animals. We're doing a research project right now with a few equestrian, which is horses here in the United States farms, and it has been shown to help horses as well and large animals. I have been expanding our research and development program here into hempcrete and also biodiesel, which we could take the hemp and make it into a diesel form, which can also generate and run your vehicles, your tractors, and so on and so forth. Now, if you guys have any questions, I'll be more than glad to answer.
Thank you very much, Fabio, for that presentation. I want to maybe open it a little bit to the public and ask if there's any question directed to Fabio from a medical point of view. You'll be very willing to answer. I hope the director are able to see those who are raising their hands so that Dr. Fabio can be able to give his comment on any question that may come up.
Yes, thank you, Alan. I think the first question, people, please feel free to post your questions on the chat section, and we'll be very happy to pick them and give them over to the speakers and our researchers on this very important topic. The first question is probably that has been asked severally is, what's the difference between hemp and marijuana? That is the first question that has been asked severally. And maybe Alexis can take that, or Alan, you want to take it?
Thank you very much. I would request Alexis to kindly give an answer to that. I think, Alexis, can you hear me?
Yes. So I think
just
you know,
the difference between marijuana and hemp.
so the major difference is that hemp is not psychoactive. It has less than 0.3% THC. So no matter how
Alexis,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you a bit. Could you put your volume a bit lower? A bit lower.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's this?
A bit lower.
This?
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
Okay. So the major difference between industrial hemp or hemp and marijuana is the THC levels. Hemp does not have any psychoactive THC in it. And I do have Jabari Bird on the line. Jabari, are you here? Are you present?
Yes, I am. How are y'all doing today? Well, I guess I'm not going to get a response anyway. After that, this is the last presentation. But just a quick introduction of myself. Hi, my name is Jabari Bird. I am an industrial hemp grower, first of all, but I've worn many hats here in the industry, here in the state of Virginia. But we could talk about that later. Let's just answer this question. So the difference between hemp and marijuana, Alexis touched on it correctly, was that hemp doesn't have any psychoactive properties. So we're referring to THC when we're saying that. So here in the state of Virginia, we're held at a threshold of 0.3% THC. And we can get into later because different states have different rules revolving around regular THC or what we call total THC. So that has been a tremendous issue. But hemp is since it's low in THC, is higher in other cannabinoids, and so one of the cannabinoids in the field that we see has been prominent in the last couple of years has been CBDA, and then also too what's been popular in the industry pretty recently is CBGA. And so I'm basically naming the natural chemicals that come from cannabis. And so all of these chemicals, we call them the cannabinoids. And so there are over 100 known cannabinoids right now, but they're still discovering more each and every day. But hemp has the ability to be grown for fiber purposes, where we have more of a dense grow that looks very similar to corn production, where plants can get up to 12 to 20 feet tall. But also too, we can grow the plant like corn, like soybean, in more of like a grain format. And lastly, what's been very popular is the medicinal purposes of hemp. And so basically hemp is lower in THC, marijuana is higher in THC. We can grow hemp just like marijuana, but also too, we can grow hemp like corn as well. That's kind of the simple way of explaining it, but I can dive deeper if y'all want me to.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jabari, for that response. Now, more questions are now very specific to Kenya, and maybe this Alan will be able to respond. And what is the legal status of hemp in Kenya? Any info regarding the legislative agenda to legalize commercial production and use of hemp, as this will definitely affect ongoing research and also industry exploitation, now that we know there's a difference between those two.
Thank you so much, Director, for that question. Currently, there's no legal framework for hemp production in Kenya. However, in other East African countries like Rwanda, Uganda, and Tanzania, they are officially now, they have a legal framework, the laws that govern production and processing of hemp and hemp related products. However, there has been a lot of efforts to have hemp officially accepted and legalized. There's been attempts in the National Assembly. There has been also a Gazette notice in 2018 that was published giving guidelines on how it could be planted and processed and commercialized. However, the discussion is still on, and this is where now the institutions of higher learning come in to help in the debate, so that once it is legalized, we are able to get the benefits of the hemp, and also separate the hemp from marijuana that would likely, if not controlled, affect the youth. And also not only the youth, but the majority of the citizens. So basically, to answer your question, there's currently no legal framework, but attempts to have it legalized are on the way. There has been debate in several public forums, etc. So the discussion now is spilling over to the researchers at the university level, so that they are able to help in once the decision is reached, there's some statistics to back that one up.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think it's very important to mention that probably some people have seen a video that has been in circulation of the. I think the bill did a third reading on Monday, I think, on 11th of this May in the Kenyan Parliament. So there is actually a lot of discussion, and this is now what you finished with, where you're saying that this now is opening space for research, so that we can inform the legislation and the activities that are ongoing. And I think that's why this discussion is very, very important. Okay. So there are questions on when consumed, does it cause psychological effects? I think that is answered now. So the answer is no. There's a question that relates to medicine, medical use. Does hemp eliminate completely autism? Jabari could probably respond to that.
Well, we can't make that claim that it completely treats autism, but at least from my standpoint, it is me being a supplier of hemp products. I have seen that cannabinoids do tremendously help with just keeping the central nervous system calm. But you have to. But the issue is, and this is a big problem with our industry here in the United States, is that we need products to be regulated properly, because most people should be taking 30 milligrams to around 60 milligrams per day, just on average of if you're taking a CBD like tincture. But overall, the cannabinoids have been shown to help with pain, inflammation, anxiety, nausea. My brand is called Rise and Shine Botanicals because a lot of people were claiming that they wasn't getting more sleep, but they was getting better sleep as far as hitting their REM sleep more and just feeling more well rested after a night's sleep after taking 60 milligrams of CBD under the tongue. And so hopefully that answers your question. We can't make medical claims, but that the reason CBD is so popular here in the United States is not a trend. It's because these cannabinoids actually work, and they work because we all have what we call an endocannabinoid receptor system, which is basically the locks in our bodies, and the cannabinoids are the keys. And that cannabinoid and that system is the central system for our immune system, our respiratory system, all the rest of our systems in our body. So this is why we see at least full spectrum CBD products helping people all across the board, from pain to inflammation to sleep, because you have some of those other minor cannabinoids too, and terpenes as well, and all of those chemicals from cannabis, all of those have their own medical benefits. So last thing I want to note is just make sure if you do take CBD products, try to aim for a full spectrum product if you can. But if you're getting drug tested or not, then there are other options out there.
Thank you very much. I think next there's a question on what are the agronomical requirements, or rather, what would be the agronomic requirements for production of hemp? Which region, what climatic conditions would really favor that? And based on the fact that a lot of this has happened in the US and other countries, but not in Kenya, what would be, do you think Kenya would offer probably an appropriate climate? Do you think we still need to do a little bit more research on this to see how hemp will do in Kenya? Maybe Alexis could respond to that.
Yeah, so hemp is actually an ideal climate for growing hemp. Again, compared to growing in Michigan, where you get about one good growing season outdoors. With hemp sitting right at the equator, you can get three growing seasons with the climate. The soil is already great. The weather is there. Of course, you have the support of the rain when it's a decent rain season. So that can also help with cutting costs. So Kenya and the East African region as a whole is very, very ideal for growing hemp.
Okay, thank you very much. Dr. Alan, you mentioned that there are other countries around us which have legalized industrial hemp at the moment. How is the industry handling it? Well, how are the researchers handling it? How is the industry handling it? And how are the entrepreneurs handling it from your entrepreneurial point of view?
Yeah, thank you very much, Director, for that question. As I said, and maybe Professor Karanja will also weigh in on that. Entrepreneurs always look for opportunities that are there so that they can be able to also kind of exploit the same. We've had, as I said, in Uganda, Rwanda, and Tanzania, we have a legal framework that controls the production, the farming, the production, the processing, and also the marketing of hemp. If you're very keen on the presentation by Alexis, you notice that hemp has a variety of uses. And last year, Uganda, I think, did over 1.7 billion US dollars in terms of their export. Of course, it's a very controlled space, simply because if it is not regulated, it's likely to go off the control, and it's likely to be now kind of confused with marijuana, and people will take unfair advantage of that. But Africa, we also have South Africa, we have Lesotho, we have also Ghana, follow it and liberalize that, but under very strict controls. So where we are as a country, it's probably a discussion that we need to and have an open mindset in terms of how we view this. Is sometimes a very emotive issue because it cuts along religious beliefs and fundamental beliefs of some people that this is not a good thing. But from an industrial point of view, in Rwanda, it is a success story. In Uganda, they are doing so well. And maybe as we continue with the research, we'll be able to publish more documents that will be able to help in the policy formulation for this particular product. So over to you, Director.
Thank you very much. So the research community is very positive. What is the response on the research community?
Yes, as I said, normally research is carried out by institutions of higher learning. There's a lot of research going on, especially in East African community region. And maybe as the director puts it, it's a discussion now that is gaining track, and a lot of this will be happening in the coming days. As a country, we are keen, they say, as researchers and entrepreneurs to tap on these opportunities as they come. We've been severely affected by COVID. We are talking about Agenda 4, etc. So what are the other options we have to be able to support these agendas we have as a country and as a region? So maybe what I can say, it is an area that has elicited a lot of interest from researchers, and not only in Kenya, but globally. And is a discussion that I strongly believe will be able to continue. It takes different phases, of course, from industrialists, entrepreneurs, medical practitioners, policymakers, economists, etc. So it's kind of a multidisciplinary approach when it comes to the researchers and have interest on the same.
And probably, Alan, do we have hemp products in the Kenyan market? I'm seeing comments from chats from people saying they have used hemp products before in Kenya. Are there hemp products in Kenya?
Yes, at the moment, maybe I'll just comment, and Lexas will also add her voice on the same. We have a beauty products. Can you mute yourself, Alexis, a bit? Thank you. Yes, we do have, because as I said, the hemp is a raw material to so many beauty products and medical products. So the use of hemp-related products in Kenya, I don't think there's any legislation which is against that. So we have a lot of hemp-related products in Kenya. However, they are only we are consumers at the moment, so they are manufactured from other countries, and we receive them as consumers. So if you're keen, you'll be able to see some of the hair products that are in the market today, and medical products have a significant amount of hemp. So over to you, Rex.
Okay. Thank you so much, Alexis. Maybe you could weigh in on this as well.
Yeah, so just to what you all were saying, yes, I have located one store chain, Healthy You, that actually has hemp products. They have hemp milk, they have hemp oil, they have different beauty products with hemp, as well as different medical products with hemp. So it is definitely here in Kenya. And so I don't think that Kenya should only be consumers, but should be the ones growing and processing and putting it, seed to shelf as well. Oops. Did I go mute?
No. Please, no, you're still live. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it is definitely available here in Kenya, and I am definitely looking to make it even more widely available with my team.
Okay. Yeah, actually, from the charts, I'm seeing many people saying yes, there are hemp products in Kenyan stores. There's a question by Nancy. In Uganda, there are available seeds in the communities, though it was done illegally. Can those seeds give good yields and products for the worldwide market requirements? Yeah. Or do we need to get certified seeds in the event that we want to kickstart research at the universities and research institutions, or in the event that it is legalized for industrial use? Will we need to import seeds from wherever? Are there certified seeds, and do we need to import seeds? Alexis.
Well, so as far as seeds, it's tough for me to answer that question. There's so many different genetics. There's so many seed types. So I would definitely say, to start to, go with a specific seed source. I can't speak to what seeds they have in Uganda. So there's definitely different type of seeds and genetics that would be required. Fabio, it looks like you want to chime in here.
Yeah, I would recommend starting off with more certified seeds. The beauty that this industry has been around now here for a good decade between Canada and the United States. There's been a good companies here that have now been able to track great genetics. I mean, we see this all the time where people buy these seeds off of eBay, for example, and you put it into the ground and half of those seeds become males and it, completely destroys your whole field. So I do recommend starting off with certified genetic seeds. There are genetic seed banks out there in the world that have a good track record. And then it's also like Alexis has stated, it's based on what type of plant are you looking to grow? Are you looking to grow like a thin, tall, corn-looking type of plant? Or are you trying to grow a small, single plant for your seeds? Or are you looking to grow like a big marijuana-looking bush for your medical purposes? So based on what type of genetics and what are you specifically trying to grow and produce and sell will then dictate the type of genetics on your seeds that you will want to purchase.
Okay, thank you. And then there's a question on enterprise development, and probably this Alan and probably Karanja will take it. Are there, in the countries that have legalized industrial production of hemp, how is the value chain like? Has value chain been studied and documented? How is it like? And this is from the enterprise development aspect.
Thank you, Director. I hope Karanja is trying also to prepare and weigh in on that. I know he's very passionate about the new and evolving technologies. So what I can say at the moment is that we are only having comparative studies with what is happening in the region. But looking at the statistics and the kind of income that was derived the last 5 years from our neighbors, it's a very essential product that requires serious consideration by the stakeholders in the region. So we are still in the, as I said, it's a new area, new environment that we're trying to do research on and put our minds into that. As I said, we of course require the right legal framework for us to be able also to help our entrepreneurs so that they can take advantage over that. So it's still work in progress. Not much has been done in Kenya, as I said, but we have a bit of documentation from our sister countries in the East African region that seems to be doing very well in that line. So over to you, Professor Karanja. Are you there, Dr. Karanja? Karanja Kabari, are you there?
Very well. Thank you, Alan. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, we can.
I really don't have anything new to add, but just encourage, or rather, this is the moment to try the unbeaten paths. This is the moment to pick up the opportunities that hemp farming or hemp subsector provides to us. I was impressed by the information that has been shared already, especially on the construction sector and so forth. And now that there's some regions to learn from just across the border, it is time that probably institutions such as ours, JKUAT, in partnership with our communities and county governments, the national government, to find ways to make this a reality in the country, and of course realize the promise that hemp has to us. Otherwise, I don't have any other specific stuff to add. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. As we proceed towards the tail end, we are going to be launching a quick poll. You're going to take your 5-10 seconds to quickly respond to that poll, and then we can probably take 2 or 3 more questions, and then we can end there. So you can take quickly, and you see that on your end.
Yes, we can see.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we can continue as the poll keeps coming. Which communities were the first to use hemp traditionally? I'm curious about its history. I wish that is from Professor Vivian Matiru. Historians, Alexis gave us a little bit of history. Maybe you could remind us, who are the first people to use hemp?
I think, so to be honest, everyone used hemp up until the early 1900s, after Henry Ford made one of the first cars from hemp, and then it was banned because, I guess making a car from hemp and running on hemp ethanol was not what the world wanted. But for over 8,000 of years, even going back to India, one of my favorite documentaries that I encourage everyone after this call to go and watch is it's a 1995 documentary called The Revolution of Hemp. And you will see a lot of amazing history there, where not only our founding fathers in America, used to require people to grow hemp in order to pay their taxes, but all the way, even all the way down to African countries, Caribbean countries, all over the world, hemp was widely used for food, building material, and rope, dating back beyond 8,000 years.
Thank you. I'm sharing the results from the poll. I hope everybody can be able to see them.
Yes.
Currently, a lot of people knew about the difference between hemp and marijuana before this webinar, which is very interesting. Okay, and a lot of them are saying 99% of people here are saying they can actually utilize hemp products. And should Kenya legalize industrial hemp? 97% feel yes. Very interesting results there. Okay, so we are now coming to the tail end. Mr. Mbugua Kamau says, I wrote a book about cannabis and hemp. It's called Modern Day Cannabis. It's available on Amazon and very soon on Jumia. Feel free to email me, kamau11mbugua@gmail. Mbugua Kamau, maybe you could unmute and take a minute to tell us about the book and what you think about the direction.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you, Mbugua.
Yes. I wrote a book about cannabis and hemp. So it's a 500-page book. It has 6 chapters. So the first is the introduction. That's chapter 1. And then, so it talks about the difference between cannabis and hemp. So what we're talking about now, the cannabinoids, the CBD and the THC, which now everyone understands. And then the second chapter is now the science. So we talk about the cannabinoids, talk about the endocannabinoid system. So if you want to get more in-depth to understand how cannabis impacts the human body, you'll find information there. And then chapter 3 is now about the CBD industry. So we now go more deep about the medicinal part of CBD and how it's helped people with epilepsy and Parkinson's disease, neurological diseases, cancer, and all those. And then we move now into the THC industry. I call it THC because that's the recreational part of it, what gets you high. So there's some information about that, the negative effects of THC consumption and how it can be used appropriately and safely. And then the next chapter is the hemp industry, what we are talking about now, the industrial hemp, and how it can be used to make over 50,000 different products, from paper, from, just so many products can be made from the industrial product, even clothes, industrial materials, building, construction, even cars running on hemp fuel and all that. And then now the last chapter is the history of cannabis and hemp, like what you're saying about how hemp has been used for over 8,000 years. That is very true. And it was actually, you're actually even required by law to grow it in some parts in, I think, Virginia. Even the US government made people grow for the war effort in 1942. So it's quite a detailed book. It has so many pictures, and I'm about to publish in Kenya and to be available in Jumia. So for those who are really interested in this industry and want to invest in it and push it forward for our government and also in other African countries like Uganda and Tanzania, and let's find a way to educate ourselves and push it forward to our government so that people can be educated on it and just know how they can be able to grow it and, start the industry. Yeah, thank you so much for your time. I'll let you guys know. I don't know if you can form a group on WhatsApp so that we can continue talking and create a community of people so that we can know how we can push this forward with our government.
Someone is asking how much is the book, and if you could post the link, the link that for the book from Amazon, you could post it on the chat and people can pick it up.
Yes, I will post the link. Right now it's $63, but once I publish now in Kenya, the book will be much cheaper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe one last question is, what's the difference between hemp oil and hemp CBD oil?
I can answer that.
Or Jabari, one of you should take that.
I can answer that one. So hemp CBD oil is what we refer to as the medicinal product, quote unquote. We can't really say that, but that's how it's viewed in the industry. And so CBD is a cannabinoid, and I talked earlier about how the cannabinoids come from only female plants. So when you do a CBD grow, we typically use either clones or we use feminized seed. And like Fabio said earlier, you have to make sure that you're using a certified seed source. And but if I'm growing for hemp seed oil, then I'm going to incorporate males into that grow, because the males will pollinate the females, and then they will produce the females will produce the seeds. And so the seeds do not contain cannabinoids, but the seeds are very high in omega-3, omega-6 fatty acid content. It's also a great source for protein as well too. So the hemp seed oil is viewed more for the nutrition and cosmetic industry, while the CBD side of this is more for the medicinal side. Now, you may see CBD in some cosmetic products, and that is because CBD does naturally act as an anti-inflammatory. Does have anti-inflammatory properties. So hopefully, just be careful with that, because Amazon does sell hemp seed oil products, but they are kind of very broadly marketed so that they can get those CBD customers. And so that is what is really hurting the industry here in the US. And that's why we do need a regulatory umbrella. So I highly suggest that for Kenya.
Okay. Thank you. We are coming really to the end because of time. This is a 1 hour webinar, very short, brief, but we cannot go without maybe giving it a minute or two to ask, what are the negatives? We've been talking about the positives, but what are the negatives from the environmental or even health perspective? And anyone can take this. Alan, Jabari, Alexis.
I mean, to be honest, the biggest negative to me that it's just so great. But I mean, it does everything great for not only, humans, but it does everything great for the earth as well. But I would say if I could just pull out one of the negatives, I think Jabari and I were talking about this the other day, is just when it's not being controlled, how it can have an impact on, different farmers. It's really important to know to have a certain mile radius growing in between grows. For different various reasons, but there's certainly, if today didn't show everyone that the positive and the good outweighs any negative that anyone could ever come up with, it's really hard for me to pull out the negative. I don't know if anyone else want to chime in there.
Okay.
I can give a prime example of what I was speaking with Alexis, but essentially what you're hearing now in places like Oregon, where hemp is very, very prominent, you have some hemp fiber farms that are setting up right beside hemp that's supposed to be grown for CBD purposes. And like I said earlier, hemp CBD should be an all-female grow. So you need at least a 10-mile radius between that fiber farm and that CBD farm, because you don't want pollination to occur from the fiber farm to the CBD grower, because then that CBD grower, his value drops down tremendously from him being able to sell that material at $20 to $60 a pound. To now it becomes just like grain. So you're talking less than $1 per pound. And so that's just one issue. And so you get a lot of farmers suing each other. And so that is one realistic factor that then really needs to be taken into consideration.
Thank you. I think I want to give one last chance before Alan concludes this. One last chance to Kamau Wanyoike. If you can hear me, you can unmute. You're saying the biggest negative is criminalization, leading to scanty clinical research on humans. Would you shed light on this?
Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity. I shared earlier that I had accessed some CBD products for treatment of post-hepatic neuralgia, which is shingles. Then a very, very, very painful condition. It's like you're wearing a t-shirt made of barbed wire throughout the day. Then also peripheral neuropathy due to diabetes. But I've been using these products through some sources I won't name here at the moment. It has really, really been helpful to me. And just so you know, 22 years living with diabetes, I've managed to reverse it 100%, thankfully, due to part of this product. So I'm really, really, really into the heart of growing this product. And I think the biggest impediment is just the lack of the ignorance on our part of especially people in government, not understanding why we need this. There are cases of when it was legalized in Lesotho, they noticed there was a bit of a rise in usage, but eventually it plateaued, then it tapered down. But what they also noted is that their health bill went down. So there really is a case for this product. And I think this is one of the best opportunities I've seen so far. I've been following up on what is happening regarding legislating it in this country. And I really can't wait for the day when we get there. So again, thank you so much for the organizers. This has been quite helpful.
Thank you very much, Kamau Wanyike. Dr. Rosalind Mangira is our librarian, university librarian, chief university librarian. She's saying I must ask you or make this request. Would you, Mr. Who, the gentleman who talked about the book, would you donate a book, a copy to the university library? And would this team, Alan and team, be willing to facilitate a similar session or a similar meeting with the county governments in Kenya? And I think the gentleman, I'm forgetting the name, the gentleman who has published the book. I'm sure we'll reach out to him. He's not.
He's called Bogwa Kamau, and he's put in he put in the messaging that he will donate a book. Just check the chat.
Oh, he did. Thanks. That's great.
Bogwa Kamau.
That's great. Thank you,
Hello?
Mr. Victus.
Okay.
And the council. Yes, Bogwa.
Yes. You're saying I donate a book to who exactly?
The Jomo Kenyatta JKUAT, Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology Library.
Oh.
Yes.
Can I be able to get an email or something that I can be able to contact so that I can be able to get that book to the university?
Yes, you can write to us, director.research. I'm going to put it on chat.
Yeah, please, yes.
Director@research, JKUAT.ac.ke. Director.research@jquat.ac.ke. You can reach us. Great. So thank you very much. And also thank you for Atul for saying Council of Governors would be a useful forum. I think we are going to explore that with Alan from now on. Alan, your final word as we conclude. We are late.
Thank you so much, Director, for the opportunity and the team for your contribution in one of my most favorite books that I often read. That is the Bible. The Bible says that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. I would request that we all invest in knowledge. Knowledge will empower and free us from backward mentalities, and we'll be able to make significant contribution to our economies. My US team, thank you very much for creating time, and everyone who has joined to the end. Let's keep the fire burning. Over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Join the discussion on chat. The link has been posted. You can join there and keep the discussion going. I think it will be a very, very interesting discussion moving forward. And JKUAT will be very happy to be involved in any research and to spearhead a lot of research in this new area as we guide government to legislate and make decisions, because they must make decisions based on information and based on data that exists. And once Parliament makes the legislation, in the event that they are successful, then it will definitely come. Kenya Bureau of Standards will come in to develop standards for very many different products. And what happens with Kenya Bureau of Standards is that they ask researchers and people with information to share scientific evidence of the products they're talking about. So it cannot succeed, or it cannot go far if there is no research and there is no data available. And we are talking of local data, not US data, not Rwandan data. We are talking of local data that can support national standards and even regional standards. So thank you very much for joining us. We must apologize because we had a very high number of subscriptions, but we could only accommodate a certain number. But the webinar is live on YouTube on our Discover JKUAT channel. You can get it there, and share it out to colleagues and other interested. Thank you. I wish to stop there. We'll also share the presentations today via the emails that you registered with. Thank you very much. I wish to stop there and have a good afternoon.
Thanks, peace, Jabari.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.